Happy Easter. How are you all keeping? Have you had a really good day so far? I know that people on the other side of the world will have already had most of their Easter, and we are just here in the UK starting our day, really. I mean, some people will have been up at 6 o'clock, of course. It wasn't me. But if you have, I hope you've already started enjoying your Easter. And I've been really conscious of some of the stuff that's been going on. I'm reading a very special book called Everyday Holiness. How do we look at the entirety of humanity as holy? So how do we look at each and every person as being a being of holy light? And I need to close something. No, I don't need to do that. So yeah. It's been really interesting, and I learned something today, and maybe you can put in the chat, but there's this saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah. And actually, when we talk, we should talk from a place of knowing when to talk and say it with purpose. And that was interesting because I haven't necessarily gone wild on Facebook. Basically, I've actually kept my profile quite low. Hi, Carla. Lovely to come. Morning, 6:50 a.m. wake up, yeah? Great. Yes. Did you take him on a little Easter egg hunt for that? And did he have a few of them already? So yeah. So part of that is that it's just really recognizing what are we saying. And if what we're saying, are we saying it with a higher holy purpose? So yeah, what I learned was the fact of why the spoken word is far more powerful is that one, we can't take it back very easily. Yeah, it's almost like once something's heard and learnt, yep. Yes, she had a hunt and loved it. Good. Yeah, Carla's child, 4-year-old child, has just enjoyed her Easter egg hunt. Luckily, we've got good weather here, so that must have been very nice. I hope she had. Do you have a garden, Carla, where they can go into, or a little bit of an outdoor space? I must say we are very lucky because we have a garden, and I tell you, this time it is a blessing. It is a blessing. So yeah, so going back to this idea of the scalability, basically, when you have the spoken word or the written word, the pen mightier than the sword, the spoken word mightier than the sword, it's to do with scalability and how we put things down in print means that we will have a profound effect. And is it the effect that we want? Yeah. And is that effect part of us in our judgment? Are we looking at it just to create judgment, or are we truly wanting to bring awareness to upraise, up-level, uplift a human being? So I think this is part of the story of Easter. If we have a sword, we can do minimal damage. Even if we have a gun, as my partner said, oh, if you've got a machine gun, you can kill a few more people. Of course you can. If you've got a bomb, you can. But in actual fact, with the pen, you can reach every corner of the earth. And if you're going up into space, you can reach space too. And that's really important. That's really important, certainly for us, if we want to transform, transfigure, transmute all that's going on for us here. People are saying that actually, the COVID virus, we're going to change. Well, we have to really look very carefully at the kinds of communication we make so that when we change fully. So the way we start change is looking at where we criticize ourselves and others, where we look through that filter and start paying attention to that. And that was something that I paid attention today because of an event that happened for me where I started seeing something, and I thought, oh my goodness, how can they, for goodness sake, get over it. And in that moment, I realized that it's these little things that we say that we think have no consequence have huge amounts of consequences. So, on saying that, let's uplift everyone and really think about today as the rising of us, the phoenix from the ashes, as Jesus, or the arisen, the ascension. All of these things are important, and the way we start is by how we think, how we temper, and we bring things to the heart with true compassion. Okay, so yes, you've got a garden and it's lovely. Brilliant, brilliant. That's really good. And I do think that it is such a blessing, such a blessing. And especially if you've got a kid, you want them outside. In the house, it gets a little bit overwhelming. So I do feel very sorry for those that live in flats, and my heart goes out to you. Okay. All right. So just very, very quickly, we'll go through and start the meditation. I have tagged a few people in. I'm learning as usual. And here we will just kind of look at, first of all, if where you are on two scales. We've got two scales. We have a happiness scale from 0 to 10. And happiness is 0 is kind of, I'm kind of neutral, and 10 is I'm happy. All right, and be aware of the state of happiness, because happiness is how all-powerful people either interrupt negative or initiate new experiences super successfully. And we have to have a look. We may be feeling happy, but be aware that we're not in the addictive happiness, that we're in the happiness of serenity, calm, creativity, upliftment. That is a different happiness. And that's a state that will sustain you through the day. It'll sustain you through your life. We also have a different scale, which is a distressed scale. It's 0 to 10, where 0 is basically just, neutral. Okay, it's neither good nor bad, because nothing is ever good or bad. It just isn't. It just is whatever it is. And distressed is obviously when you are heightened panic mode and your heart is going and you feel incredibly distressed. Just kind of recognize where you are on that scale. The way I like to work is I like to think about everything has meaning. Everything that we experience, this is the body just talking to us. It's just telling us that we are not in alignment with our head and our heart. We have a part of us that is an internal part, an embodied part, and it has a lot of attention in sense of it has an imperative to live. And we have a head part that kind of likes to kind of wander off. Yeah. But that head part also allows us to appreciate, to see, to look, to decipher, to get excited. That's what that head part is all about. Great. You're a 7.5. Excellent. You're so clear. A 7.5. Excellent. So the most important thing is just to kind of recognize that we have this embodied part, we have a wise part, and we have a part that's going to allow us to transcend. Remember, there is always that part that knows and is awake the entire time, even when you are asleep. All right. And a lot of the time, aspects of us are asleep and they're not awake. And a part of our body is to tell us when we hear it, it tells us, wake up, wake up. So think about your sensations and feelings as a wake up call. All right. Invariably, someone that suffers a heart attack, they've had plenty of symptoms beforehand to change. The heart attack is the final symptom that gets them to say, hey, you're not listening? I'm going to do something now. All right. So it's really important that we understand that it's just the body telling us, it's giving us a reflection of what we're either doing or not doing well. Okay. So let's just quickly do a quick grounding and then we'll start. All right. Okay, so just allow yourself to bring your thoughts down. I know, Carla, you've got a child wandering around, but just give yourself a bit of moment just to kind of attend in. Taking a few nice relaxed breaths, letting go of all those things that have been bothering you, that where you have to be mom, you have to be there for everybody. And just bring the attention down to yourself. And just straight away when I do this, I get the feeling woof down into my pelvis and down into my lower back. My lower back's very vibrating, and that's the sacral chakra. And that's the chakra which is all to do with our creativity, our hub, our beingness. Lower down is all to do with our fears and our need to be connected. All right. So if you can, just bring yourself down there and create what looks like, if you can, just widen your hips a little. So create what is like a little, an infinity signal. So you have like this diplo kind of two kind of circles going around and just creating that energy down in your pelvis, going down. So sort of doing this, yeah? So the figure of 8. But have it sideways because your hip, you want to expand it out and just expand it. Be aware of your body and the weight and just going down into the ground and just being aware of that there. Okay, good. Good. Well done. Okay, good. Well done. All right, so Carla, you're a 7.5 on calm. Just kind of notice what's missing, why you're not a 10 on calm. Be aware of that, what's holding you back so that you can have a sense of the bit that's missing. We want to look at the gap. The gap is the bit that gives us the information. All right, the points that we're going to be tapping on are the top of the eyes, side of the eyes, under the nose, chin, clavicles, heart. There's the high heart, yeah, top of the heart, bottom of the heart, depending on which way you want to do it. I'm going to go in doing that in a little while anyway. Under the arm, top of the head. We'll always start with the karate chop. And sometimes I might even actually come back to that. I don't know, but there's no supposed to's. There's no ways that's perfect. If you find, for those of you that have never been here before, if you find a particular spot feels really good, stay on it. When I do the pulsar, I want you to actually see if you can focus on your heart, because when we work with that in unison, we're creating a force field. And we want to create a force field that just expands out. Yeah, we want to use it like a solar flare going out like that. All right. So, and we want it to have a pulsation kind of effect so that we can see the information moving. All right. Okay. Good. Let's go. Let's go. So, nice breath in and out. Breathing into your stomach if you can. Okay, so even though, oh yeah, I have just quickly, so I have vibration in my body. I'm not feeling particularly uncomfortable anyway, but there's part of me that kind of today recognizing that there's still aspects of me that has this judgment. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the judging part of me. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. And yeah, I'm going to say it's about a 6 because I was aware of it today. So yeah, it's obviously there. Okay, so even though there is a part of me that seems to quickly go into judgment, and it seems to not let up when I'm angry, I totally love and trust myself anyway. And even though I know that when I judge people, I'm putting myself above others, and I really don't like that aspect of me, I choose to love and trust myself anyway. And even though I recognize that when I have these moments that I am fundamentally flawed, because I know that I'm imperfectly perfect, I totally love and trust myself anyway. These feelings of judgment that sit inside of me, that make me feel so angry to under the nose, because they say a lot about me. They let me know that I'm still so far away from where I want to be. They inform me that I'm not done. And sometimes it feels that I have done no work, because it's like I'm back right where I began. And even though I experience this, and it annoys me so, I choose to love and trust myself anyway. Top of the eyes. Because as I see things for what they are, side of the eyes, I get clearer of what they're about. Under the eyes, I still don't like how it feels. Under the nose, but at least I'm not going round about. And on the chin, at least I can begin to consider and take note and recognize how we are all, as human, in the same boat. That I'm not separate. I'm not above anyone. I'm just here. And I'm me. And I'm choosing to observe so that I can set myself free. Remember to breathe, yeah? So as I focus and take some time to really understand on the eyes, I get to see, I get to learn. I get to be my greatest fan. For if it isn't me that is doing it, who else can I rely on? How can I find a way that I can be more of that? There is a secret in learning the real deepest truths. That I am connected to all. That we all have these feelings. They're just a level and a scale. They are the measures by which we learn and grow. The measures. It's that not that we will fail. Top of the high. It's all about connecting. Connecting and bringing into view understanding and knowing and accepting what is true. That we are perfectly perfect and we're imperfect at the same time. And how that translates is different for each and every one of us. But it's good to just understand that it is the truth. So as I give myself comfort, I give myself love and a hug. I give myself the opportunity now to simply debug my mind, my body, sides of the eyes, under the eyes, my spirit, my soul, my energy. I let it go. I clear the bugs and I set myself free. I set a new program now. I just have to flick the switch. And you know how to flick the switch. It's to work on the heart. Okay. Okay, we're going to do the solar power, the binary star now. Just take time to get into the binary star. Maybe just start by tapping the thymus gland, the high heart. Breathe into the high heart. This is the part that tells us, it's the thymus, tells us and knows and identifies what is me, what's not me. We know love conquers everything. Love is really the true way to truly be. Love transmutes, transfigures, transforms, transcends. So as we begin now to just activate this love part, this part that sees everything as one. Yes, even viruses. It recognizes that everything has life, that has life, has its own purpose, and we need to respect that. But it's also our job as more sentient beings to know how to use love to transform, transcend, change, transfigure. I'm starting to get very hot now, so I can see how this is activating me. Remember, the coronavirus requires you to have a warmer temperature. So let's focus on just raising the heat in our body. This raises the heat. Whew, I'm getting very, very hot now. Just let it really raise up very high, really get it very warm. And if you can imagine like a star, I'm seeing it now as a really greeny, yellowy star going around like a cafe circle, or cafe star ring, going around and around very, very fast, creating more and more heat, going around and around and around, and then it's coming down into my lower part of my body. It's going into the lower heart, so the lower heart gets more energy, activates it, activates it, activates it. This is the part that receives. This is this part that gives. Remember, this part feeds you first before it feeds anything else. That's it. Good. Good, good, good. Make it really strong, really strong, really strong. Feel the vibration. Feel the vibration. Let it go all the way around your body. Let it go to that part of you that is my case today. I was going to that judgment part. I'm going to send to that judgment part, because judgment, when it's in balance, is good. Judgment, when it's not in balance, is bad. Wow, it's not helpful. Okay, there's no good or bad. There's actually just, is it helpful or is it not? And I'm just creating what's like a big drum effect in my body. I'm imagining now that pulsar, which is going around, this binary star is creating double helixes throughout the whole of my body. So I'm getting to be a great big coil right through my body, like a big cone of light with a coil going around it so that it can spark off a magnetic field. The ancient yogis, even they can still do it today, they increase their body heat. It's called a solar meditation. And they increase the heat in their body to phenomenal. They can dry clothes. So let's just really heat our body up. And then what I want you to do is allow that part of you that's anxious, worried, concerned, not quite a 7.5. See the part that's the gap, what it needs. We want to give it what it needs now. Send it love, send it what it needs. Ask it what it needs. Just listen to it. Okay, and as I see this energy really going throughout my body, just changing the DNA, I'm debugging, and as energy comes into my body, it goes out of my body. It's debugging, I'm cleansing, I'm restarting, reactivating, reconnecting, repurposing, whatever it is. Repurpose the virus if that's what you need to do. Because all our mitochondria in our body was formerly a bacteria. Well, I think it was actually a virus. Okay, so carry on. Okay, now let's kind of do supernova. Okay, we want to move out of our aura, let it expand beyond our body so that we're sending information to everyone you love. And I can't know, Carla, send to your daughter, send to your husband, send to the people you love, and I'll send to everyone here and people that I love. Just really get that feeling of love really strong, because you want to send it with that feeling of overwhelming, beautiful love. Send it. Now, 360. Let it go. Our aura is cleansing, and we're pushing, sending whatever it needs to go away to wherever it needs for its highest purpose, and we're sending and we're clearing. Sending to our friends, sending to their friends, sending to the whole of the planet. I'm seeing the planet Earth, and I'm sending waves like wireless waves, just going out like a pulsation. Just send it. And you can make a sound What would the universe sound like? You can move forward and back and to the sides and round and circular. It doesn't matter if it's easier. Just go with it, send it throughout your body so that it gets stronger. Oh. Then just imagine the light coming all the way back from them to you as they clear, as they clear, as they clear. And you receive their energy coming back to you. Let it come back, let it come back, let it come back to you. That's it, good. Let it come into your solar plexus, up into your heart. Send it out to them. So it creates like a binary star effect between your solar plexus and your heart. And send it out and come in, let it go out, you receive, you go out, you receive. Fill yourself up with their light. Remember, this is like the ultimate atomic atom. We want to cleanse. We want to invigorate, transfigure, transform, transmute all that we want to do. Okay. Take a moment to feel the vibration. Let yourself be the magnet that sends energy. The magnet that draws to you, fills you and expands you as you expand others, as you uplift others. I'm just going to go forward and I'm going to do a rotation just to increase the energy around me so that I can even create a greater vortex, a greater vortex, a greater vortex, and then another one and the other way around. You can imagine one coming up and one coming down, creating the charge. Then just pay attention to the thought, the feeling. Just notice what it is, where it is, what's its rating now. Notice the level of calm, the level of connectedness, the level of beingness. I've got massive, massive energy going in my uterus right now. It's such an expansion. Just notice where yours is, what's going on for you. It's feeding up, it's feeding up, it's feeding up. It's feeding up and it's bringing down. And it's using and it's going up and it's going down. Okay. How is that? How's that for you? How did it go? I'm just going to have a quick look and see how the aura is. And I'll put it on. See how it goes. It was pretty goldy, well, yellowy gold when we started, with a white coming through. So I'll put that on in a minute so that you'll be able to see it. And we've gone very purple and pink this time, with a little bit of white still there. So that's interesting. So that's, well, let's just go to the pictures. So that was the picture that started out. And I think, whoops. And that's the picture of what we became. All right, so very interesting. I will show you in a minute when it comes up. Very magenta, very the color of what I imagine when we talk about the Passion, because that's the color that the priests wear, certainly in the Catholic Church. So there's something that color is all about compassion, love, and we're bringing thought into it. Compassion requires thought, right? It requires the heart, but it requires thinking compassionately. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Carla, for joining. And I don't know if anybody else joined. I certainly did tag Marcel and I did tag Jenny, but I don't know if they're on. They haven't come up. But I've realized, Carla, one of the things is if you can actually follow, then you'll be alerted. So anybody that wants to be on here, get them to follow. All right. So take care. Speak to you soon. And yeah, Carla, I haven't heard from you, but I'm sure you'll tell me how you're feeling. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.